Good afternoon, everybody. I am Les, your forum administrator on Absolute Vorticity, and welcome to my early winter blast video. It's November 9th, 2019, and boy, do I have an action-packed video for you guys. So let's just dive right in and let's get to those top weather stories. All right, we got a Veterans Day rain to snow system, which will kick off our cold pattern as a wave of low pressure moves along an Arctic frontal boundary. Then we have some lake effect snow courtesy of the flow up Lake Michigan on Tuesday, especially in the morning. We'll take a look at that here in a minute. Record cold Tuesday and Wednesday. We will challenge, if not break, record cold high temperatures on Tuesday. And if we can get a little snow cover, can we break that record low Wednesday morning next week? Certainly, we have a chance there. And a little clipper system started to show up on the models yesterday, and we have a little more support for that today on Thursday. We'll take a look to see what's going on with that. And finally, if I have time here in the next 10 minutes, we'll take a quick peek at the long range. All right, so let's start with the NAM model here. This is the 12Z run this afternoon, and here is valid Monday evening, and here is the energy now coming in here on the northern branch of the jet stream. Now look at the polar vortex position, folks, just south of Hudson's Bay and just north of the Great Lakes here. But look how far east it is. You can see the trough is kind of situated right over us. It's a little too far east, so this system just kind of gets shredded. You can see the energy down here to the south in Louisiana and Texas. It's kind of getting shredded by the northern branch of the jet stream. So that's why the NAM, I think, does not have a lot of cold sector precipitation. And you can see here on the next slide, valid around midnight Monday night, the northern branch, the polar vortex is just dropping in here, and it's just shredding everything, and we just can't get any southern moisture involved at all here in this scenario. The wave just tracks too far to the south, and just not much for us at all on the snow department. Now here's the GFS. It is also, I'm sorry, that's still the NAM. This is at the surface. My apology. But you can see how far east that low is. I mean, it's not even in West Virginia. It's in Maryland. I mean, over by D.C. And then the second wave, same sort of thing, tracking along the boundary. It's kind of up against the Appalachian Mountains where we want it over us. So that's what's kind of happening. You can see the strong Arctic high, just, the big bully. There's the polar vortex up here. It's just too much. Now here's the GFS. A little further north here, a little bit stronger. You can see that. But look at the gap. It's like a two-wave scenario, folks. And we're seeing this on some of the models yesterday and today, where look at that gap in Illinois and Indiana between the two waves. There's that. And then boom. There it is for Monday at midnight, and there's the second wave missing us over central and eastern Kentucky, missing us to the south and east. Probably some flurries for our southeast folks, but the rest of us cold and dry. You can see also the polar vortex on the GFS, like the NAM, much further south. It's just crushing everything. That's the problem. Now, the foreign models, here's the Canadian, much further north. The high a little further west. Where's the polar vortex? It is not way down here. It's way back up over here. So we got a little more breathing room, a little more ridging now from the Bermuda high off the coast here in the southwestern Atlantic. So that wave's much further north, a little bit stronger. And you can definitely get to our 1-inch call with this scenario. Canadian looks great for everybody to get to that inch. Here's the British model. You can see that gap again, Illinois, Indiana, over to St. Louis. Let me color that in. Yeah, right there, that little gap there. See, got to watch that now. It's trying to sneak in. But the British model is certainly further north. Preset mounts are in millimeters over here on the right, folks, but you can do the math and figure it out on yourself on the Meteo Center site. But I'm just saying, we're just looking at the precipitation placement, and it's also further to the north. Now here's the European, way north today, hot off the presses, first lows right over us. Look at that for the first wave. Second one, gorgeous, right up the spine of the Appalachians, a nice band of our moderate snow coming right through the area. Everybody gets it. That 1-inch call looks great for everybody here. In this image here, Here's the changeover about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I like that 7 o'clock window for the changeover on this system. I'd like that for days. I'm still going to go with it. I'm still going to go with the 1-inch call. I just don't see any reason to change anything, folks. There's just too much uncertainty. Let's just let it ride. We'll now cast. Let the chips fall where they may. It's the first one of the season. All right, so here's the European as the low. The second wave lifts off up into Pennsylvania, and we get the backlash there, especially the east. Around midnight, tapers off in the west. Now, on Tuesday, lake effect snow here is possible, and the flow is going to be off Lake Michigan. What we're looking at here from the NAM model is valid for Tuesday morning, about 7 o'clock. This is 925 millibar winds. Now, look at the blue color, pardon me, off of Lake Michigan. And you can kind of see the flow here. Let me draw that in. Right down the length of Lake Michigan, north-northwest, and then through Indianapolis right into the tri-state. We can get some flurries and snow showers off of Lake Michigan in this scenario. Got about 30, 35 knots. Not overly strong, but enough where we can get some flurries and snow showers out of it. And then that quickly lifts off and weakens in the afternoon, more toward the Dayton folks, west central Ohio, but it's going to weaken as well as it does so. And then here's the GFS, same sort of thing. You can see the flow off Lake Michigan Tuesday morning right into the tri-state. Weekends lifts off to the east in the afternoon. Finally, the European. I do have access to that, and this looks really good. Nice saturation here, too. This is great from the European. This looks really nice, and it lingers longer. We would have flurries and snow showers all day here if the European's correct. This looks great. So we want to cheer for the European for a wintry day on Tuesday. Could put down a covering in some spots if the Euro's right. Oh, this looks great here. So we'll see if we get any further model support tomorrow. But certainly, this is worth watching on Tuesday for a wintry day. All right, now the record cold coming in on Tuesday. Here's the records, folks. CVG, Dayton, Columbus, 30, everybody, from 1932 and 1920 for Dayton and Columbus. We're expecting the 20s for everybody. So it could be an historic day. We've never been in the 20s this early in the season on November the 12th. So this is a big day. And then if we get that inch of snow on the ground, there's the records. If we can keep it on the ground, and which I think we will Tuesday, it's not going to melt, right? And especially if the European's right, we'll have a lot of clouds and flurries and snow showers. So we'll see if everything comes together. We got a shot to threaten these record lows, 14 at CVG and the classic 1976, Dayton 86, and Columbus way back in the solar minimum 1911 with 14. So we got a shot here. Let's watch it, and we'll see what happens. This could be an historic cold plunge for a couple of days. All right. Little clipper system here before the cold leaves is showing up on the models yesterday and today. On Thursday, this is Wednesday night into Thursday, actually. And here's the GFS, mostly an I-70 on north event with some flurries and light snow. Not a big deal, not too much moisture for it to work with, really. Half inch to an inch tops. It's not really a huge deal. But the Arctic high moves off to the east to allow this system to swing through, and it doesn't weaken that fast. Here's the Canadian, also pretty good coverage. The Arctic high is way down here, so it's got plenty of room to swing through. The Arctic high is down here. It's not over here blocking it. So the Canadian allows for some good coverage for our I-70 folks. And here's the GFS ensemble. It's very far to the north, way further north than the operationals, you can see here. It pretty much misses everybody for the most part. And here's the European. Now it runs into the big Arctic high over New York State. Look at this bad boy. And it just shreds it apart. Some flurries, it's weakening, and nobody's going to get anything out of it. All right, long range folks, here is the EPS here. We're almost out of time. Showing a trough day 10. GFS ensemble, same sort of thing. This is for November 19th. MJO going back to phases 8 and 1 as we get toward the third week of November. I don't think the cold pattern's going anywhere. I think it'll stay seasonally chilly, not warm, but not deep cold, but it will be below average. All right, want to thank everybody for watching my early blast winter video. Thank you so much, and keep checking the forum for further updates. Bye-bye.